Tea with Lady Tea. This is not a podcast. It's a talk show. It's wonderful.
Welcome to today's episode where we are looking at the three dimensions of a human being, the spirit, soul, and body. The talk show is Tea with Lady Tea. I'm welcoming one of the great people that I met recently. If he was to speak now, you'd think Barry White is back to life. And then with a golden voice. We met a couple of weeks ago. We were doing an event and I kind of connected with him because of the kind of work that he does. He's an artist. I don't know if I'm downplaying what he does, but he will share with us everything that he does, including the artist part of it. Welcome, my brother.
Thanks, Lady T.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you?
Are you well?
I'm 100%.
Okay, let's take it back. How are you? Like spirit, soul, and body, how are you?
Spirit, soul, and body, I am aligned. I'm aligned. Mm-hmm. I'm okay.
Thank you.
I'm all right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for making time to come and join us. I know shortly after we met at that event for the Heritage Day, I started talking to you to say, Guy, can we take this conversation further? Because when we did the short conversation that we had, there's something that really spoke to my spirit when it comes to the work that you do. I remember I was going through your art pieces, and most of them that I saw, I identified with the eyes, and I was like, why do almost all your pieces have like eyes? It's different type of eyes, different designs, but in almost all of them, they were eyes. And you responded to say the eyes are the what?
The windows to the soul.
The windows to the soul.
Yes.
So I was like, no, we need to really go deeper into this conversation, simply because the podcast is about the spirit, soul, and body. And hence now I'm asking you, how are you feeling, like spirit, soul, and body? So can you maybe go deeper into the work that you do in the art space first? If there is anything else, then we'll get to that.
All right. For those that don't know me, Lady Tea, I'm Phethego Kgomo.
Yes.
I go by the alias ARTbyPK, even a nickname that hasn't shaken off, called Dangerous Ducky, since around 2002.
Sorry, how did that come about? The Dangerous Ducky?
Wow. 2002.
Yeah.
I went to the Pretoria Art Museum.
Okay.
Because I'm a self-taught artist. I had a couple of artwork, and I thought to just approach them and give them work, and Bob's your uncle. The curator there was, I'm not sure if she was Afrikaans or German, but she basically looked at my work and said, well, which school did you attend? I'm like, no, self-taught. She's like, and then who mentored you? No. Where are you from? I'm from Limpopo. You only did this yourself? I'm like, yes. And she just reacted by saying, "Die swart gevaar." So it translated to Dangerous Ducky.
Oh, wow.
Direct translation. And it literally stuck since then.
Okay. All right. No, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been painting for over 30 years now. I tried to get into art school so many times. I remember back in the 90s when I was about 13, Sunday Times used to have these competitions in there where you just make artwork and submit. It was by providence, I think I was offered a scholarship to basically draw for Sunday Times and for a up-and-coming comic strip called Super Strikers at the time. Sure, I think my parents were a typical black family, baby parents who were very afraid of their 13-year-old moving to Cape Town all by himself. All they said was, yo, Biala, the drugs, Butabane, no ways. Dropped the phone on them and they gave it to someone else. I actually believe it's Loise Mkhize who took that opportunity.
Wow.
In my regard. That's the interesting part. 3 years after that, I get offered a scholarship to the Paris School of Arts. Blocked. 3 years after that, I'm about 19. I'm about to go to varsity, and they're asking me what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do art. I get a scholarship to go study for the New York School of Arts, as well as another arts fraternity in Brazil. I think it was an animation studio in Brazil that was also blocked for the same reasons. Art was not understood in my family, but it was there in terms of music, because my maternal grandfather, self-taught musician, piano, accordion, trumpet, you name it, even writing music for the Lutheran Church. Interesting enough, he used to write difela, hymns, and all these things. Yeah. So I've been doing it all my life. It's not what I do actually. I think it's more who I am.
Who you are, yeah.
Yeah. And flash forward, I study engineering. I become an industrial engineer all the way to executive level as well. So in between a 24-hour day from about 5 o'clock to 5 p.m., I'm engineering. I'm doing business turnaround in factories, even in companies that are in service industries. We're doing amazing efficiency improvement activities. But anytime when there's a lunch break, whether there's a space from dinner time, I'm drawing, I'm painting. And I'm even making, I'm singing in the church, I'm singing for people who are making music. I'm just loving the arts.
So you're an artistic person.
Yeah. So it's very interesting in that everything that's been happening seems to have been happening for a reason, because my parents denying me the opportunities, those very expensive and very rare opportunities, actually allowed me to be an independent artist, which a lot of artists could not say in South Africa, because I think ownership rights, intellectual property is a very big thing that the arts and artists don't really talk about. The administration of the arts, it's not really talked about. It helped me to really apply the engineering into the arts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that you're maybe taking the other skill now to
absolutely
work within this one.
Even the awards I used to get in the automotive industry, Paris, Japan, Egypt, Eurasia, as far as Russia, St. Petersburg, even as far west as Latin America, your Colombia, your Argentina and Brazil. I've reached those areas in terms of engineering, but always squeezing in my art.
Your art, No. There's something that I want maybe to get clarity on. When you finally decided that you're going to maybe pack the idea of being an artist because of these lost opportunities.
Yes.
Is it something that you decided then to do in terms of the engineering?
It was either that or stayed home.
Parents push you to it.
Yeah. Okay. My father is a legal practitioner. He was a lawyer. He worked himself all the way to judge as well. My mother was a staunch principal in Limpopo as well.
Okay.
So they were very academically strong. And in my maturity, I agree with them in that they were experienced in the sense of what is risky in the world. I think we tend to look at our folks and judge them based on how we feel at the time of youth, but they were looking at risk. They did not know any artist that was booming further than a middle class engineer, doctor, lawyer, corporate professional. So it was very hard for them to even benchmark or soundboard, which in hindsight, I understand their perspective.
Yes.
But at the time, I think it was very painful. Yes, it was very painful.
But wouldn't you then say, because if we look at the art space across the board, whether it's being a musician, being a fashion designer, whatever, wouldn't you say there's still maybe those challenges when it comes to how people perceive artists, because even let's make an example with the musicians,
Yes.
especially those that we know, and some have actually passed on.
Yes.
We know that there's always an issue, and the actors, there's always an issue. They'll say, okay, this person has passed on, we need to donate. Even those that are still alive now, they're like, hey, I'm in a very tense spot,
struggling
artist. Can you please put hands together, put some hands together and donate? It's very heartbreaking, especially listening to your story, because it's something that is in you. You wouldn't want to do anything else apart from that. But obviously you need to get paid for it.
Yes.
So maybe what is your view then in terms of the art space in general, and also the education of it? Because you mentioned something like the administration, the legal part of it, because I know even with the legal part of it, we don't have people who are, if they are there, there are very few who are practicing as entertainment lawyers.
Yes.
And these are now the people who are able to streamline everything that happens in the art space.
That's
even to advise the artists, the singers, the dancers, the actors, everyone, even the fashion designers that are in business, the business side of it. Let me put it like that, the business side of it.
Well, that's a powerful question, Lady T. I've actually held a very strong opinion and perspective on this for quite some time. Actually, since that time, the parents denied me access into the arts. And it was a philosophical question that I was praying about and asking myself, asking God, asking my ancestors about, why would I be denied something that I am? And I realized that engineering likes to talk about input, a process that gets transformed, and you get output and results. What my parents saw when I said I wanted to do arts was the results of what arts and artists were looking like at the time. Back in, let's say, 2002, 2003, artists were seen in the newspapers always being controversial, in the media portrayed as people who have a lack of self-responsibility.
Unruly.
You know what I mean? So the reputation for artists was not so good in the sense of portrayed versus what corporate and business would deem to be prim and proper.
Yes.
So for me at the time, I think it's something that I looked at, and as I grew, I think, I used to just steal myself from even varsity, from university, and immediately after a lecture, go to the School of the Arts. Immediately after projects on a weekend, take a taxi from Pretoria to go to Wits or to Domfontein, Bramfontein, and join poetry sessions in Joburg. And not even worry about catching a taxi late at night at 10 o'clock from North or Bree back to Pretoria. So I realized that for the arts, it's something that has to be intentfully with input. The intent has to be correct from the get-go. And once that becomes very clear and aligned, something in the universe happens and it opens up. My intent in the beginning, I wanted fame, to be honest. I was like, Picasso, that's my kind of thing. I was looking at it from an output also of a lack of very immature understanding. I just wanted fame, only to realize that the arts are a very spiritual aspect of life.
Yes.
A lot of people over time say, your names, African names, they're very poetic. I'm like, today I can say, yes, those things are, those words, those names are poems. They are spiritual connotations that mean something. So the intent with them, Lina Seromo, that type thing, they have a very big meaning. And if the intent is not rooted in the same aligned direction as what it should be, not what we want it to be, it doesn't really work out. And I think I was delayed I just speak for myself in the context of your question. Delayed so that I can realize the philosophy and the understanding of why I want to do this.
Sure.
And it changed very dramatically over time.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. You just mentioned us being spiritual.
Yeah.
There's a saying that I like. It's not actually a saying, it is in the Bible for us who believe in the Bible. It says God is the creator. In the beginning, he created. So right there you can see that, because it also says God is the spirit, God is love.
Yes.
So as creators, I think we get more closer spiritually to God when we are in that space.
Absolutely.
When we are in our creative space.
Yes.
Because God is the creator and we are made in his image.
In his image. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, PK. So in terms of the projects that you do, I know you mentioned you've got a studio where you're working from.
Yes.
Are there projects that you're busy with? Maybe planned trips to showcase your work?
Wow.
Or if maybe people want to see your work, you sell online? Because I know you've got beautiful pieces. It's a pity we couldn't bring them here for display, but I know you've got very beautiful pieces.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, where can people maybe get your work?
Wow, interesting. Before COVID, I was everywhere. Every gallery that I could find, I was in a gallery in Cairo, Paris. Since then, I pulled everything back and became very, very, I would say, claustrophobic with the art. And right now, I'm actually selling it 100% independently.
Okay.
I've been in talks with a couple of galleries. There's a beautiful gallery in Rosebank. There's actually two of them. There's a Goodman Gallery and there's David Kroot, who I've been speaking to. And they also have a branch here in Maboneng. There's a restaurant actually on Main called Bertrand, where I've left a few pieces. The interesting thing is that my approach changed completely since COVID. I saw a lot of businesses struggling. I have a few friends and associates in the hospitality business. I saw the restaurants falling, and I pulled all the art out of the galleries and put them into their restaurants.
Yes.
So most of my works is not even in galleries; it's in restaurants. Yeah, it's in restaurants. So there's a Fumo Italian cafe in Hazelwood in Pretoria. It has some of the most incredible works I've ever done. There's a piece that I left at Paris, at Chateau Versailles, in Versailles Castle. I was privileged just to given an opportunity while I was doing engineering work to leave something there. So I've basically put up all the reference to the work online, mainly on Instagram. I took down the old website because it was just not speaking anymore. And I think with the integration of AI, I'm building something much more intense. VR, virtual reality type augmented gallery. And I'm getting help from some friends in Japan. I'm also busy with a superhero story for Africans, strictly vernacular, called Sabola, Mosadi o tshwara thipa ka bogale.
Oh, okay. I think I saw a little bit of it on your profile.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Yes. Yeah. There's so many projects that I'm busy with. To be honest, you've just reminded me that I need to put them into perspective so that it's easier for people to reach.
Yes.
But on the online presence, on the social medias across, my art is there. But to find them in sequence would be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
The catalog, I think, will come through with the new website that's coming up.
Okay, no, that's wonderful. So in terms of then numbers, maybe your phone number or email or whatever, if people want to reach you, because now you just mentioned, maybe unless I missed it, you mentioned the galleries and then the restaurants. For those who would be able to maybe go buy off the shelves from those spaces.
Yeah, the direct line. Luckily, I've got a team of interesting people. I still have people in Japan and Paris and Egypt helping me to administer the business. because I think, like we spoke before, art is a serious business.
Yes,
it also has KPIs, key performance indicators, business plans, administration. So Art by PK is the main handle, and my name, Phethego Kgomo, is the secondary handle. And with that, just on your search engines on the web, they'll find everything. But the primary line, the phone number, is with the South African code +27 76 732 1536. That's where my wife is actually managing my business for me in terms of communication.
Oh, all right. No, that's wonderful. You mentioned okay, let's just say even now in this day and age, there are still parents who are very skeptical with letting their children choose this route. They would rather have them become a nurse, become a security guy or woman because of the security part of it, because they feel income wise it's better if someone can just go be a security person and than to be in the art space. And now I think kids are approaching their end year examinations.
That's right. The matriculates in particular.
Exactly. I'm coming to the matriculants. I know some have already chosen up their whatever classes or the career line that they want to pursue. And mostly with the influence of the parents. And you'll find that they're just doing it because it's something that they have to do, because parents are saying, no, you need to do this. But the person can feel that this is not for me. You know, I want to do the painting. I want to be a designer. And with the challenge that we have now in South Africa, when it comes to the number of institutions out there, your universities, your colleges, your whatever mainstream that is out there in terms of the academic area. Then what happens to the ones, because the ratios are not rationing. You know, there's a lot of matriculants right now that we are looking at who may not even be afforded a bursary to start with, let alone being admitted into the school. Because believe you me, there will still be those that will be admitted into the school because of their the way that they have done in their results.
That's right.
And they will not actually be able to pay for the for the institute. So for those that are finding themselves in the interest of art space, how then do they navigate, you know, even the talks that they need to start with the parents and all that? Because I remember 2 years back my son was doing matric. He managed to get the scholarship. He managed to find a university. But for me, it is simply the grace of God. Because I remember even when he was in matric, I was saying, I will not afford. As a parent, I'm not going to afford. I know you've got brains. That one I'm not even doubting. I know you're going to do well. You're going to do well. But my fear, and I had panic attacks. I wouldn't sleep at night when they were writing exams, the final exams. I was like, God, I'm not going to afford getting this child into university. So I started having a talk with him around the TVET. Based on what he wanted to do, which was economics, finances, and whatever. And I started having that talk with him to say, look, we've got options. There are TVETs, they are manageable. And TVETs, it's not like it's just for people who, because the unfortunate part is, and the truthful part is, people think people who are doing work using their hands is because they're dumb. They cannot think, they cannot learn anything outside of working with their hands, which is a stereotype and a stigma that has to be broken at some point. That's another conversation for another day. So I said to my son, at TVET, and I even downloaded some of the material to say, look at this school. they've got this and this and this, and it still falls under the academic side of it. And finance was there, economics was there, but when you compare the prices in terms of the universities,
two shades of sky.
You understand? So I started having a talk with him around that to say, let's look at this.
Wow.
You understand?
Yes.
Because financially, I am not going to afford.
Wow.
And it will not be wise for you to sit at home because you didn't get a bursary and I cannot afford you to go to university when you can be doing something. So I just want us to have that talk now, having in mind that matriculants are busy, or they are going to start with their exams now, and prepare their mindset to say, it's either you're going to do well and get a scholarship to go and study whatever course you want to do, or you're going to do well, you're not going to get the scholarship, or you're not going to do well. What is the option?
Yo, Austi. Very, very powerful question.
So maybe let's just talk to these guys, man.
Please.
Because I remember even at that time there was someone around my son's friends.
Yes.
He didn't do well, and when I spoke to them, he was like, "I want to take a gap year." I was like, "No ways." What is that?
Pause button on life.
Okay, break it down for me. What are you going to do in that year while you're sitting down and doing nothing? What is the plan? He didn't have a plan. So now we end up having this problem of people who are sitting by the corner because they wanted a gap year, and in that gap year there's nothing happening. It's just a gap. They're just sitting there doing nothing. You're absolutely right. Can I try and answer it maybe at 3 levels? First level, I'll reference to a study, a business analysis actually, I did last year, just trying to help some of the operational staff of manufacturing factories to understand the gravity of what you've just put down. Last year, there were over 600,000 matriculants in South Africa. And there were only, in the total university diaspora and statistical census of the country, there were only about a maximum of 150 to 250,000 spaces for university, technicon, and TVET, as well as other management science type colleges. So I actually had interesting enough, just a small session on WhatsApp, created a video and explained it and sent it out so that parents can start engaging their children early. I think children, especially now that our kids from any age from around 9, 10 and above, they're ready for a conversation. Yes.
To be prepared.
Yes.
I remember by the age of 8, 9, I knew I'm an artist. This is what I want to do. But because my parents were not open at the time, it was, the times have changed also.
Yeah, the times have changed.
Yes. So we're at a time now we must have engagements with our children, or social media will do that for us.
Yes.
Peer pressure will do that for us.
And that's the scary part.
Yes. Advertising agencies will do that for us. It's either we're involved or the streets will be involved. So I have a nephew and I have a couple of young people that I'm also mentoring in this regard. And we didn't start now that they are 16, 17, 18 in matric. We started then when they were still 11, 12, 13. To say, hey, what is it that you want to do? And the options were like 10. By the age of 15, they came down to 5.
Yeah.
And now, before end of matric, there's at least 2 or 3. At worst, 3 to choose from, because to have too many options as well is a formula for confusion. So I think it's important, first and foremost, that we as folks open up the conversation. Even if the kids do not want to talk, we must create an environment where they must open up about this. Because gap year in 2025, 2026, all the way to now, this midterm 2030, in this economy, in these political, economic, social, technological, economic, and legal circumstances, is not a good idea. is not a good idea. Why? It sounds like it's an unplanned vacation that is unfunded, that doesn't have a budget, doesn't have a plan like you mentioned. So it ends up being loitering, and you end up with the wrong crowds because it's random decision making. And those random decision making are uncertain in their outputs. So that's why most of our kids fall into drugs, they fall into crime, they fall into very the fiendish parts of society, the dark side of society, which is not correct. And to prepare them is important. You know, there's a benchmark saying in TVET and Ambach teachings of engineering of old and the technical skills of old is that rather measure 9 times so that you can cut precisely once than to cut 9 times because you've only measured once. So that's a lot of effort and resources that get used. The child's resources, and they get, frustrated, and they end up having mental health issues. The parents, like you said, we spend so much money on education. A typical university fee is no less than 50K in this day and age per year, sometimes even per semester. So it's important that the kids themselves know exactly what they want to do, but it's the responsibility of both the parents and the children to have an engagement, to understand what is required first. The second one for me is it's absolutely the kids as us as children to our parents. It's our responsibility to understand what it is that we want. Praying, researching, these simple things. I tend to mentor some of the young girls and guys to say the very first thing someone should sort out for in this life is the Creator. Look unto God first, because by talking to God, like you mentioned, it's an artistic thing because that's a creative gift. I tend to play a lot of times to say, God's language doesn't seem to be English, Zulu, Spedi, or Sesotho. It seems to be ideas and creativity. So by talking to God, He will start to give you ideas and guide you towards then the second part, which is knowledge of who you are.
Wow.
And by knowing who you are is acknowledging that by PK existing and sitting in front of House T right now, he comes from a line of Womankumishi Wamasorole, Bobricha Shabirwa. All these people and all these Tagazelos that we are is who we are. Those names, those deeds, those things that they did is who I am at this moment in time. And moving to the third thing is that what is it that I'm here for? If that purpose is not defined and we're just doing things randomly, the world will give us a purpose. The world will give us something to be busy with, a purpose of being occupied, an occupation. Drugs is an occupation. People are busy with drugs like a full-time job. Crime is an occupation. It's hurting society, it's hurting families. But people are occupied in it because they've missed the opportunity to know God themselves. To know themselves, remember themselves, anchor in who they are so that they can find a purpose. And with that third one, moving to why we are here, right? Meaning. Meaning is doing something that has an intent. And the intent is God giving the ideas, giving us the power to create, knowing ourselves and understanding what our purpose is. You see how much effort it takes just to have an input, just to have an intent. It's a lot of hard work. We want to take the shortcuts. And go all the way beyond purpose into meaning what you do. You'll be doing this on a full-time basis. It should never feel like work. If it feels like work, it means now it's no longer your passion, it's no longer your purpose. It's a burden.
Sure.
A lot of us who are somewhat forced by family to do our careers or forced by circumstances. Some people get pregnant in their teens and they have to look for a job. It's circumstance. Some people have to, fend for their families and they can see there's a gap in the home. Pick up yourself, go find a job, circumstantial. But if with God and knowing yourselves and knowing what the purpose is, it will never be lost, even if the circumstances change.
Sure.
I'll give an example with what just recently happened to me corporately with the engineering this year. I got retrenched at the end of June in my executive role. And in the first 2 months of that, it was a living hell. But if I did not have God in my life and not know who I am and not remember, at least, the glimpse of light to remember why I'm here, the purpose of why I'm here, I would have probably died, committed suicide, or been manically depressed. But I'm able to sit with you here, Tea, by the grace and privilege that we have to come back to ourselves with that intent and pick up again. Because the meaning changes with what we do. Sometimes you can be an engineer for a purpose to help.
Assignment changes.
The meaning changes all the time. But God doesn't change. Who you are doesn't change. Your purpose can change if these two and these trinities, of God yourself and who you are, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It's interesting how they are trinities in that aspect. And that's why I say this thing called arts, this thing called life is very spiritual. And it's not a game, it's not a joke. And for young people out there, you must believe in something or you'll fall for anything. The world will find you a God to believe in. And sometimes if you look in today's age, it's this one. We think we are God. I want likes because I want people to worship me. I want to be, you see where the intent is starting. I'm jumping over God. That was me when I was a teenager going into varsity. I wanted to do art because I wanted to be famous. Because why? I wanted to be worshipped as an idol to other people. And God saved my life, to be honest, by diverting me so I can find Him first and find who I am and find my purpose. And funny enough, become an independent artist. And then now we can begin. It took about 10, 15 years. It is very important for young people out there to do the work from the inside first.
From the inside.
Yes. Before seeking anything outside, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall come. If we do not know God, if we don't know His voice, and His voice is not language, it's not lingua franca, it's not Latin, it's ideas and creativity. And once that happens, an engagement with your parents or parent will be very, very meaningful. It will be like, unlike going out and just doing something because you want to do it. You will cut 9 times. You will measure 9 times. You cut 9 times because you've only measured once. We don't do enough input work. If we really do the right things and not take shortcuts and really go through the process, we will have made sure that we have measured. We know God. We know who we are. We understand our purpose. Yes, and the purpose is not only bells and roses.
It's not.
It comes with responsibility.
It's not,
And artists' work, even the artist studies, are expensive. And a typical art school, and this was me helping a gentleman, shout out Brajabu, back in Joburg South. He was asking about his daughter who wanted to study videography. And the fees for the year at the art school was 180,000 per year, excluding materials, excluding equipment like the videography equipment that we have at this talk show, excluding the paint, excluding all these input materials that are required. Just the fees to pay for those lecturers, to pay for the people who have expensively sacrificed their time, their resource to build themselves up to be responsible creatives so that they can plow it back into you. A lot of us think that the arts is very simple. I'm talented, I walk in and I just hit the ground running. It's just as difficult as chartered accountants. It's just as difficult as acquiring a doctorate. It's just as difficult as studying engineering. The only difference is that those ones are quantitative. This one is qualitative. It's highly spiritual. These conversations that we must have as families are very important, but preparation. Children are prepared by their parents, and the parents that doesn't know what to do, send them out to people who are knowledgeable in the industries so that they can touch, feel, and see. I was very fortunate, I think. It's funny, back in then Petersburg, now Polokwane, I used to go into the factories like SAB, Sasco. Funny enough, it's crazy. It's like God was preparing me for manufacturing. I loved those equipment. And in high school, because there was no art studies, we did technical studies, which was the technical fields, construction, building, mechanical, electrical. That's what we were studying in high school. Come the time that we also had the time to go and find, I literally went to art schools and I went to engineering schools because I knew my parents wanted me to do law. Love you, Dad. But I just could not be a lawyer or an education specialist, which they were very passionate about, right? That's what they knew. That's what they knew was a guarantee for this lowly, wayward son of theirs. I went and researched what was happening deeply in the arts. Researched what's happening with your technical in Pretoria at the time, which is now TUT, it's on university, UP, your Cape Peninsulas, all universities, and only to find that all these are so similar. I identified in, I think it was grade 10 at the time. There, they have very good architecture. It's very close to art. I must squeeze it in.
So you're always looking at something to the passion.
Constantly pushing the arts. Even the projects that I used to do in high school, they were always artistically integrated. Funny, only to find that when you study engineering, everything starts with abstraction, architecture. In order for this building, this huge building to be constructed, an idea must be formed. And it comes from abstraction. Where is abstraction? From that creative subconscious level. God's language. Here we go again. From the depths of our minds and our subconscious, we are inspired to create something out of nothing. Just like the creator. That idea is a pencil that goes onto paper. It looks like something that does not make sense. Then it's given form, fit, and function. What is that form? Oh, it's geometrical. What is the fit? It's going to basically work to carry weight and make sure that people have space. The function is going to ensure that it basically has an aesthetic value, but also produces a result of utility. So it's useful. The same in arts, in science, everywhere. Same everywhere. The input, the process that transforms, and the result. So it's all interconnected, right? Interesting enough.
Very interesting.
So for the youth out there, and not just the youth, there's still people who are in corporates going, hey, present, I just came in to sign the sheet, get the salary, go home, buy a car, get some takeaways and look nice with some Jewish excuse me.
Let me share a personal story. I was just to the other guest that I interviewed here, and I resigned. I actually resigned from work.
Wow!
I was working for a government department.
Wow!
I resigned 10 years ago.
Jeez, here I am complaining about being purged. You left.
I left. But the thing is, the very same thing that you're talking about, you're just sitting there, because I was actually at that space. When I decided to leave, I was actually at that space. And for years, I was in that space. I was doing my own things, business-wise. And the sad part of it is, and if we can have this honest conversations with ourselves, we would solve a lot of problems.
Absolutely.
So I would just be there, like, oh, okay, I know my manager's, whatever, the diary, whatever, he needs to go there, he's there, and then I would steal some of the time from work.
Oh.
You know, I'll go do my designs, I'll go do deliveries during lunchtime. I'm not there, I'm taking 2 hours breaks. You the typical government employee.
Jeez, it's for real.
So, you know, the defining moment for me, there's this book that Clayton Mackenzie wrote before now. He wrote a book titled Trapped. I read that book. There's a part that I came across. I even highlighted that a phrase where he said, if you are doing a job or a work, I can't remember the exact words, but if you're doing something for you to be paid for it, then you must be trapped. And that sentence spoke to me. I was like, no, I don't want to be here. That one I was certain of. By the time I resigned, I was like, I don't want to be here. You understand? And that was, I felt trapped. Actually, I felt trapped. Even before I could come across that book, I felt trapped. I was like, but it's paying my bills. I've got a house to pay.
Absolutely.
I've got a car to pay.
Ticking all the boxes.
Child you know. But the fact of the matter is, I did not want to be there. I did not want to be there. So finally, I just decided to leave and pursue my own thing, because at the end of the day, it's not even healthy for our mental health.
Absolutely. You know, there's this notion of being occupied.
Yes.
Finding an occupation.
Yes.
Is finding a trap. Getting put in a box or putting yourself in a box. Because you know what you're saying, I remember even when I was still, young and aggressive about how could my parents do this to me? Very victim mindset, right? How could my parents force me to do something that's not me? This is after I graduated. I'm 24, I'm making money. I'm making thousands of rands. I'm driving SUVs that cost in the hundreds of thousands. But I'm so despondent because it's not what I want. This is not who I am. And I realized I'm occupied. So I stopped being occupied and started seeking for meaning and seeking for how can I turn this circumstance, because it is a circumstance.
Yes.
And some people don't get the grace of what Austi could do to leave.
Yes.
Some people have, they feel that there's no other alternative but to just continue and leave that shackle on the foot and be trapped and be occupied. Imagine arriving at work and, all you're doing is having chit-chat with people, eating 2 hours to 3 hours worth of lunch and sitting on your phone, browsing social media the whole day. It's a death unto ourselves, actually.
Unto ourselves.
And the ripple effect is that it affects the organizations that we are working with.
It affects the organization, yes.
It's a ripple effect.
But then it also takes me back to what you said, to say, after you were retrenched from work, it was not easy.
Not at all.
Even with living on your own, it's not easy. It was not easy. But I think finding purpose, and the passion of what you are doing at that moment, or pursuing something that you are passionate about, is actually what maybe keeps us going.
Yes.
And God, because really when things are tough, passion does not pay.
It doesn't put any food on the table.
It doesn't put food on the table.
It's interesting you say this. Yes. Yesterday, I have a third-born daughter who just turned 1 yesterday.
Oh, okay.
It's been 3.5 months without a formal income because I'm self-funded and independent. It's wild how God and circumstances can shift once the mindset also shifts.
Yes.
A week ago, I just, acknowledged that this thing has happened because I was very much in denial. And I realized that, especially us as men, when something like that happens, your primary source of provision, which a lot of us as men define ourselves with, our ability to provide got taken
away.
away.
Yes.
Like the carpet getting pulled under your feet.
Then what?
It can break you. And if you break, the family, from your wife, your spouse, and the children, they break. Ensue, like dominoes falling from the big domino. And I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't keep falling, because I've heard so many sad stories about colleagues, friends who have, passed on. Whether it was mental health, the result of the impact. It's dangerous. It can kill. And I just gave myself back to the source of all life and said, God, just take over here. I'm acknowledging this thing is gone. And if it's gone, you're taking it for a reason. There's a reason why you're taking this away. And I just started painting and creating like nobody's business. You know what happened, Osti? I get called to the Italian festival at the Italian sports club in Benoni. And I created one of the biggest artworks I've ever done.
Wow.
Beautiful artwork that was appreciated by thousands of people, including the market where I met you. These type of things started popping up. And lo and behold, this week as well, I was flown down into Durban, got to do some very interesting things for leadership, which required artistry and engineering together. So it's like God is speaking, saying, open up your hands and drop these things so I can put something new. Something new for you, something to redeem you.
Wow, that is very profound. So in closing, thank you very much for making time. But I'm just interested. Let me just get this one before we wrap up. When I saw you, I remember when I saw you when you were busy painting.
Yes.
You go like, and you do your thing, and then you go like.
Yes.
So is that where this is coming from, or is it intentional?
It's intentional.
Oh, okay.
It used to be random because honestly, this is the first suit ever, because I still have it. This suit started becoming very interesting where I focused to have it, because it's now created almost 1,000 paintings. Once it reaches 1,000, I'm framing it.
Oh, wow.
It's an artwork on its own.
Okay.
So there's about...
artwork in progress.
Like art in motion, art in living.
Okay.
And the question about the underpants as well, yes. Answer is yes. Yes.
Oh. What a way to bring us to the close of the show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming through. This was one of the best conversations I think I've had so far.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think mostly because there's so much wisdom, there's so much that you're bringing outside from in the inside to the outside. Yes, from within.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that very much, and I think this is what I know connected us. The whole conversation, Jay, was just like, yes, this had to happen. And thank you so much for making time. So in closing, I would like to appreciate our sponsors. I would still appreciate Dark Octopus for the premium coffee that they are giving us for our show. And the outfit that I'm wearing, the dress, is from Hook On Creations. They are found in Pretoria. I will post the numbers. I don't know the number off by head, but thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.